Good morning, everyone. It's Marcel with Anvil Wealth. I got Aidan Knipe here, starting setter for the Long Beach State men's volleyball team. Module number 7, rent management. So we're going to go through this one because a lot of people that are student athletes have to rent an apartment. So this should be pretty applicable to young people and know what some of the guidelines are. I'm helping another person. He's not in college. He's in a trade school. He's still a student, but not at a university. Here in Alabama, and he's looking for a place to rent, trying to keep his costs within range so he doesn't get in any financial trouble. Now, Aidan, you're in Long Beach. What do you have, a house or an apartment? Where are you at?
Ours is I think it's technically a 3-bedroom house.
Okay.
But there's an added-on living room, so there's 4 people who live here.
Oh, okay.
So it's a house right across from campus, yeah.
Got it. Well, let's see. The first thing I would do is do an assessment is, do you have steady job or income? Now that could, when you're a student, that could include your parents, obviously, because your parents are helping with the cost. So in this case, it's yes. The next one is your living expenses should be around 30%. That's a general rule of thumb. Everyone's case is different. If you make $1 million, it doesn't have to be 30%, right? And if you make $10,000, 30% is $3,000. That's a lot of your money. So a general rule of thumb is 30% for your rent. If you find that you don't make a lot of money and that number is like 50 or 60%, you should consider maybe not having your own apartment and sharing a room with someone or having roommates to keep that cost more reasonable. If not, you're not going to be able to buy food and live. You're just going to be paying rent with all your money. Don't be too proud to downsize. I've had roommates for many years, even into my 30s, and I didn't have a ton of extra money, but I always had good jobs and could have a big apartment, but I was not too proud to have roommates. So I encourage you, until you build some kind of savings and you buy your own real estate assets, it's okay to have roommates. Let's see, your goals. Live within the 30% budget, recognize sacrifices and save and then invest, and then always be growing financially. We always talk about that. The other thing to think about, how long have you lived there, Aidan?
This is my third. This will be my 3rd year.
Okay,
so
now
how
does the landlord, is it all in your name, or does each individual person have their own lease?
We have individual leases.
Okay, and then does he change the amount of rent for each person individually, or is it one amount that he changes on all 4 people?
Well, to be honest, it's kind of shady. So we all have our own leases, but it's a charge for the house, and we just split it up 4 ways evenly. Okay. So the year over year, the rent has gone up $50 for me every year I've been here. So It was $775, then $825. Now it's $875 per room.
Okay.
So $200 total.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's okay. In your case, it might be a little unique. But one thing I try and recommend with people, especially if you're like on one lease where it's not split up like that, is if you're a good tenant and you keep the place clean and you're not loud, you don't create problems with the neighbors, and you pay on time, when it comes time for the new lease, talk to them and see if they'll skip a year on the increase. Now, a lot of times landlords don't want to do it. They want their rent increases. I'm a landlord. I have properties, and I want rent increases too. But I've actually considered certain tenants that were really good to not go up, or maybe not go up as high, negotiate it a little bit because you're a good tenant. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You got nothing to lose. If he ends up giving you the same increase and you want to stay there, it is what it is. But by asking and presenting your case, most reasonable people will say, hey, okay, maybe I won't go up $50 next year, I'll go up 25, Yeah. And that's significant, because 12 months in a year at 25, you're looking at $300 in savings, For what? For literally calling the guy and presenting your case to him. So that's just one strategy I would use. I don't know if in your case it may or may not be able, because you have different people in and out, but anyways, it's worth an ask anyways, so hopefully that works out for you. For rent management, that's kind of it for this module.